Good morning, and thank you so much for joining me today on Smile by Holly. And hi everybody, I'm Holly. Hey, it's great to meet you if we haven't met before. And if you've been here before, thank you so much for your continued support. So today we're making a really fun flip book, and it's the thing that I like about this is it has an accordion pocket on the inside where you can put like really chunky goodies, and chunky goodies are always a good thing. So anyway, let me just go ahead and I will show you this cute little flip book. The thing that's fun with this is it's interactive. You can do so many additional things to it. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. I'm using this beautiful, beautiful pastel paper. Look, that has butterflies on it, and I think it turned out so cute to pull the butterflies out again then on the front. What do you think? This lifts up, and I've got a little Velcro closure right there, which really helps, especially because, once again, you can put chunky things in this little flip book, so that Velcro is kind of important, especially if you're going to put some chunky things in there. But that opens up, and then that opens up. And look how cute this is. So right over here on the end, we've got a place for a cute tag, and I've just taken the same paper of this paper collection and made a tag out of it, just so it kind of all pulls together. We've got a cute pull-out tag right here. Now, wouldn't that be cute for either a photo or maybe have this be your actual card or sentiment? I just think that is so cute. This folds over and then that flips up. Look at that cute paper. Isn't that just nice? That folds back, and then this is what makes it really special, is this really nice accordion pocket. And I just added a package of cute little shaker tags. But let me just kind of show you. You can see with that accordion type folder right there, it allows for you to put some really fun things in here. So anyway, that is what we're going to be making today. Just look at it one more time. I just get so excited, I have to keep looking at it. Anyway, let's go ahead, just jump right in and get started, and I will give you all of these fun measurements. Now just remember, if you are going to put some chunky things in there, use Velcro or a magnet just to help keep that closed. See, that's actually coming down from the top. You can tell that that is a pretty good chunky album. All right, so let's get started. Okay, so I'm first going to give you all the measurements for the paper, and then we will one by one go ahead and score them. So for the first piece of paper, you'll want a piece of paper that is 11 by 3.5. Just one piece, 11 by 3.5. We're just going to set this aside, and then we'll go over all the scores in just a minute. The next piece of paper is 9.5 by 5. Your next piece of paper is 11 by 5. You're going to need 2 pieces of paper, and this is what's going to make the accordion, the actual accordion, that are 2.5 by 3.5. 2 pieces of these, okay? 2 pieces, 2.5 by 3.5. And then for the actual folder for the accordion, this is 5 1/4 by 4 3/4. Okay, you still with me? We're going to be making a diagonal pocket, and this is measuring 3.5 by 5. You can also just make this, like a horizontal pocket. So whatever you want for your album. Mine is actually going to be diagonal, once again, 3.5 by 5. And then for our flip page that opens up, let me just open it up so I don't lose you. This page right here, okay, this is going to be measured at 4 3/4 by 4.5. Okay, so here we go. Okay, bring in your scoreboard, and let's start with the first piece that we cut. This is our 11 by 3.5. And we want to score it on the 11-inch side at 5 and at 10. Okay, just those two. While I've got it, I'm just going to go ahead and fold and burnish it. And there's our first piece, okay? The next one, this is the one that was 11 by 5. On the 11-inch side, we want to score it at 4 7/8. That's just the little line before the 5. And at 10. Just going to go ahead while I've got it, fold and burnish it. Okay, on our next piece that was 9.5 by 5, on the 9.5-inch side, we want to score it at 3, at 3.5, and at 8.5. Okay, moving right along. Boom, boom, and boom. I think I'll bring in my bone folder, just make that a little bit crisp. Okay, perfect. On your piece that is 4 3/4 by 4.5, on the 4.5-inch side, you want to score it at 4. Just flip that, fold it over. Okay, now this is going to be for our diagonal pocket, and we're just going to cut that diagonally, okay? And we'll cut that in just a minute with our trimmer. Okay, for this piece that is 5 1/4 by 4 3/4, on the 5 1/4 inch side, you want to score it at 4 3/4. Just gonna fold and burnish that. And then last, we've got our two little pieces that are going to make our accordion. And what you want to do, these are the 3.5 by 2.5. And on the 2.5-inch side, you want to score it at every 1/2 inch. So let me grab a different one. So at 1/2, at 1, at 1.5, and at 2. Okay? It's hard to see those little score lines. Let's do it again. So this is my second piece. Once again, on the 2.5-inch side, score every 1/2 inch. So at 1/2 inch, at 1, at 1.5, and at 2. Okay? We are done with the scoreboard. I'm just going to hurry and fold my accordion piece of paper. Now, once again, fold it back and forth. You know, like those fans that you used to make when you were younger, or at least I used to make these all the time. So just like that. Okay, that's going to give us the depth for this little pocket, which I think accordion pockets are just so wonderful just for that one reason. Okay, once again, fold it back and forth, just like an accordion. Okay, ba-boom. Now, we'll bring in that diagonal one. You can just use your trimmer if you'd like. I'm just going to go from corner to corner and cut me a diagonal. That's going to make just the cutest little pocket. Now, you just need one of these, okay? So just one of those. Now we are ready to assemble it. Okay, so grab your two big pieces, okay? Here are our two big pieces, and let's just let me show you how we've got this. So this is our 5 by 9.5 piece, and I'm gonna leave this on my left, and then this is my 5 by 11 piece. And what we're going to do is these two little tabs, we are going to just line them up and glue them together. Okay, they just fit perfectly just like that. So I'm gonna grab some adhesive, and just on one of them, I'm gonna get some adhesive on here. And once again, they're just gonna line up together and kind of kiss. I'm gonna do it this way to get it even. Line it up, kiss those together. Okay, do you see how that is? And this is where we are going to add, let me bring this in and I'll show you. This is our pocket right here, okay, that we're gonna add the little tag or photo journaling page. So what we want to do, because we're going to be sliding a piece of paper down on this, we want to just miter the edges here just a little bit. Okay, do you see that little teeny tiny triangle that I took off? This is just going to help that when we put the paper down over the top, it will slide on top easier. Okay, so I'm just going to set that aside for a minute. Let's bring in our piece that was 3.5 by 11. And this is going to be the piece that actually slides on top of that. And do you see how that just is so nice and perfect because we did miter those little corners. So take this piece, let's get some adhesive onto our tab. I'm just going to fold this up, give it a good crease, and there we have our cute little piece that's going to go right down there over the top. And then I'm going to add adhesive on both sides of this little flippy flap, okay? And then we are just going to take this piece, slide it right over the top, push it nice down and snug, and then give it a good push down to get that adhesive to stick. And there we go. There's our cute little pocket. Okay, now let's go ahead and do our side flip page, which is this one right here. Okay, and this is the piece that is 5 1/4 by 4 3/4. We are just going to, right here on this tab, we're going to add our adhesive. And you want to just put it right up here against this score line. Now don't let it overlap or your little book won't fold, but right up next to the edge. I'm just kind of eyeballing it, making sure that that still closes. And then there is, oops, I've got a little bubble in there. There we go. There we go. Okay, now before we go any further, we still have to put our little triangle pocket and our accordion pocket down. But right now is the ideal time to go ahead and add your matting, okay? And if you just want to do it, I like to do it about usually 1/4 or 1/8 of an inch smaller than the actual page, just so it gives kind of a nice white border. But now would be the time that you would want to mat that. So let's go ahead and assume that we have ours all matted. I'm just wanting to give you the base for this album and then have you go ahead and take it from there. I've already made like a darling one, so I probably won't actually embellish this one, but I did want to give you, you know, the measurements so you could make it yourself. So let's go ahead and add our little triangle pocket. Now this can be done so many different ways. You could add it right here in the corner and have your pocket be right there. You could add a bigger one. You could flip your triangle over in this corner. You could, I mean, it's just so many different ways. I think I like this big triangle like that, okay? So when I do pockets, I generally like to use wet adhesive because I don't like to have adhesive on the edge, but I'm totally out of glue at the moment. So we are just going to add adhesive. But just so you know, when I make pockets, I would rather use wet glue. But for now, we've got the adhesive on. I'm just going to line that up in the corner. And the reason that you want to do your matting, so that the matting is already done, and then when you go to set like your triangle down or your accordion pocket, the matting underneath is already done. Does that make sense? So I'm just going to line this up. And as you can see, we've got a little pocket there. Now, it's okay that we had already put this swing page on because you want your matting to actually cover up that little flip page, that little flip flap. What am I trying to say? That little tab right there. So anyway, We've got our cute little triangle pocket. Now, as you can see on this one, I actually made it going this way. So many different ways that you can do it. Like I say, I'm just kind of giving you the base of how to put this together, and then you can take it away. Okay, now let's go ahead and make our accordion little file. Love that, love that, love that. Okay, so take your last piece of paper and bring in your little accordion folds. I'm going to just scoot this out of the way for a minute. What we want to do is on both outer pieces of our accordion, we want to add adhesive, okay? So adhesive here and adhesive here. Okay, both sides. Let's do it to both of those. Adhesive and adhesive. Put adhesive on and then I stuck it to my table. Okay, and then take your base and let's go ahead and add adhesive on our tab. So I've got adhesive down there. Now take your two accordions and just kind of, you know, eyeball it and line it right up against the edge of both of your ends. You don't want to have it overlap this part, okay, but just right to the edge here. And if you've done your measurements correctly, it should go just perfectly right up to the top of that. Okay, we've got our second accordion. Just going to line it right up here to the edge. Okay, and now we are ready to put this on. Do you see how that's boing, boing, boing? And so once again, remember, you want to have your matting down before you do this part. Now we're just going to line the bottom of this up with the bottom of this. So I'm pushing in my accordions. Now you don't want these flaps to go over this little score line here, or this tab is not going to fold. So just make sure you're being aware of that. Just center it down in there, making sure you're not going over those score lines. Give it a good push down. It's kind of hard to see white on white, but as I lift it up, you can see that makes that cute accordion pocket. Okay, so we've got our accordion pocket, we've got our flip out page, we've got our flip over page, we've got our little diagonal pocket right here. That folds over, and then that folds over. And this is where I would add your Velcro or your magnet, because you can tell this is a bulkier album, and once you put little goodies in there, you will want that. Do you see how that doesn't stay by itself? So anyway, I hope that this tutorial helped you. Now once again, this is just the base. I'm not going to go ahead and decorate this, but let's take a look at our finished album one more time. Okie doke, I've got the little ribbon sticking out from the tabs. That opens up, that opens up. Cute little place for chunky embellishments. We've got a cute pull-out photo or saying. We've got our flip out. Love this part right here. And then a cute little tag. So thank you for joining me. It was wonderful to have you here. I certainly enjoy making crafts with you. If you have any questions on measurements, please don't hesitate to contact me. I didn't give all the measurements for the matting, but once again, it just kind of depends. Some people like a thicker kind of margin, and sometimes I go back and forth, but I generally cut my paper down between an 1/8 and a 1/4, sometimes a 1/16, just depending on what type of border I want on that. So I didn't give measurements for that because it's kind of personal preference, but just grab your ruler and make the base matting for all of these just a tiny bit smaller so you do have that cute little white border. So I hope you have a fun crafting day. Thank you for joining me. And if you liked the video, give me a big thumbs up. I would also love, if you haven't subscribed, to consider subscribing to my channel. So have a wonderful day, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Goodbye, everybody.